What's going on? Welcome to the first episode of the Atlanta FaZe podcast that we don't have a name for yet.
An unnamed Atlanta FaZe podcast.
We're working on it.
We're working on it. It's a work in progress. So hopefully there's not going to be the only one of these. Hopefully we can keep this going. Wanted to start off with how was your guys' holiday break, man? What'd y'all do?
Whole
I was
bunch of
pretty
nothing.
good.
Whole bunch of nothing.
I went home, saw family, had a good Christmas, had an interesting New Year's. Went to a cabin with a couple friends. A bunch of stuff with the power went out for a little bit. It was a mission out there, let me tell you.
That was nuts.
But yeah, a lot of funny stories and good memories came from that. So I enjoyed my time home for sure.
Yeah, I got my flight canceled 10 times going home, so that was cool. I basically hopped on a flight because everyone lost full at the fucking flight attendants and pilots for no reason after a delay happened, so I hopped on a free flight. Well, not a free flight, but
I saw my family for a
straight
day.
up travel cheese.
But that was it. Just a day.
Just a day?
Yeah.
Just Christmas?
Well, I was in Jersey, so I'm only an hour drive from my family there because they're still in New York. So saw them for a day.
What'd you guys do for New Year's, though?
Jerica's family came down from Canada, so we spent some time with them.
Wait, have you ever gone into New York though and saw the ball drop and stuff? I've always wanted to do that.
I've never actually gone to the ball drop.
I feel like it's too hectic, but 1 year I feel like
it would be nuts. I feel like it used to be crazier for some reason.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of those things that you look at from afar and you're like, that's so sick. And if you go there, it's yo, this sucks.
You think it ruins it for you?
I feel like it's going to be oh, bro, there's too many people around.
Yeah.
I feel like it's probably better when you're watching it online or on the news or whatever.
Yeah.
Whichever
If they were to
channels.
plot me in the first row, 10 minutes before the ball drop, it's the only way I'd ever go. That shit is too
That's
nuts.
what I mean.
That shit is FugaZe, bro. No one should do
It's
that.
also one thing watching Miley Cyrus perform on TV, but if you got to look at that in person and you got to stand there, it's is it really good?
I don't know why. I just pictured watching the ball drop and just seeing in the front row just MC and RJ just standing there with some New Year's tiaras on his
No way.
Oh, we'd be going
They got
wild.
the 2023 glasses on.
Yeah, the season was kind of weird. We had the first event and then just took a month off.
Yeah.
Did that how did that work for you guys scrim wise and all that?
I feel like it was better this year than it was last year with the breaks, at least. I feel like it was better to take a break after the first event than have two events where you're having a huge major break, I feel like.
We used to wait 3 months for no reason. Not for no reason, but when you practice for 3 months, you're going to have you're going to hit so many peaks and downs randomly.
Yeah.
It's it's pretty dumb.
I think this year was kind of weird though, because when we came back, it wasn't the same game.
No, for sure this year is different for that reason because the whole game kind of changed respawn-wise. I feel like you try to get back into it early.
Before when we used to take breaks, you come back a day or two, start slow, but then you get right back in the swing of things. This one we came back and it's yo, what is going on? I don't know where anybody's spawning. So I started playing 8s back home on Cali internet. I was on 100 ping, still just playing, just trying to pick up on some things because the challengers players started really early, so I think they got ahead very fast.
Yeah,
and,
I think
just
so too.
playing with them and stuff like that taught me a lot real quick. And so yeah, I don't know, it wasn't too bad to be honest because they kind of removed the squad spawns, I would say, which I mean it's good for us.
I feel I feel like with the new spawns we picked up on it super fast of how to play around with them.
Yeah,
I feel like it wasn't as bad as nearly as what everyone was saying.
I mean it's almost more it's not exactly, I wouldn't say normal COD. There's still some FugaZe going on there. I haven't fully figured it out, but you can definitely block spawns while where you're standing, so which makes it easy just to relay the information to your teammates.
Yeah,
so,
it's more consistent for sure.
Yeah.
You can chain hill so easily if the other team's just trolling, bro.
Yeah.
So much better.
Realistically, how many days did you guys have of the new stuff before matches?
2 weeks.
We played.
We started earlier than
Yeah, I think
some
we
other
started on the
teams.
27th again. So we played until New Year's. Played one scrim on New Year's. So yeah, I mean, I feel us Thieves and only one or two other teams.
I think
was,
Vegas
actually
was
getting
early
ahead.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vegas
They
was
were
playing.
I think because we were playing the same couple teams for 2-3 days.
It
before
did feel
New
like we're
Year's.
getting on every day and playing the same two teams.
Yeah.
I was damn, I know all their breakouts.
Yeah, I know. I was
They're
like,
doing the
these
same
guys
thing.
again?
Square up.
These guys again? Jeez.
Nah, teams were trolling, taking as long as break as they did for sure.
Nah, yeah, I think the early start for us helped us a lot too. I think we got on top of it, and like I said, just even playing those little bit of 8s was important because I had just a general understanding just going into team scrims, so I could already just kind of tell them what was going on and stuff like that. But yeah, I'd say it was about 2 weeks, so not a lot of time. Like I said, we feel pretty good and confident about where we're at right now, but there's still so much to learn. I feel because 2 weeks is not a lot of time to actually learn a full Call of Duty game.
Yeah.
No way to be perfect in 2 weeks, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of brings me to my next question. Like, I don't think we've ever talked about this in depth, but like, how was it adjusting to like the new roster? I kind of perfect with you guys both because it was like one's adding one person, one's coming into 3 brand new people. Like, how was that process? And like, what were like the first things you guys wanted to do as soon as you started scrimming? Like,
I guess I can go first. Well, for me, I mean, I feel like I've played with so many different people at this point, and I've done kind of this before. Like, I've joined like the Rise team when they were really good, and I was able to fit in there. So I kind of knew what to expect. But coming to the team, like, I mean, like I've said it before, I think on interviews, like they're a pretty tight knit group. So like I mean, obviously know them, know about them and what they're about, but like I don't fully like know their team and how they operate. So I think the first few weeks for me was like trying to like get a feel for what's going on and then also like see like what I needed to do. But I feel like they also made it easy for me because they kind of just told me to come here and do my thing. Like they wanted me to like, you know, criticize and like do what I normally do. So yeah, I mean, I feel like it's been smooth for me so far. I feel like everything's going well and just got to keep pushing.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's pretty like not the same, but pretty similar on like our side of things. I feel like because you know, obviously your change is way bigger joining a team of 3 people you don't know than for us it's just like one. But I feel like the first couple weeks of like getting you on the team is just everyone getting like comfortable with each other, kind of like getting the vibes going, making sure that even before like team stuff starts happening, everyone's like comfortable with each other. And I don't know, I feel like we also kind of used the beginning of this year as kind of like a mental reset for kind of like our side of things. Because last year, got second like every goddamn tournament, which is definitely not fun.
No, that's
but,
the worst.
It's way better than what you could be. You could be top 12 every event. So I feel like we just, it's been good.
I will say too that you brought up a good point. Like I feel like that's one thing I also focus on when coming to this team is not just like the game aspect, like also just like fitting in like with the team and being a part of the team culture. Because that's one thing I've learned over like my course of playing is like how important that stuff can be. So yeah, well, I mean, we've gone out to dinners, had fun and stuff like that, and just been hanging out and like being friends also outside of the game, which has
been good vibes.
So yeah,
it's
really one of the
vibes.
best teams I've been on when it comes to that aspect for sure. And I played with a lot of different teams, so that goes to show like how good of a culture like you guys have built over here.
Yep.
What about you, Arj?
What about me?
Any thoughts?
Any thoughts? Austin joining? I don't know. I mean, things have been going great. I mean, once we first talked to him, we told him like, just like you said, we told him just be Slasher. We want to be the asshole that everyone fucking knows, because we feel like our team needed it. It's been working perfectly.
Yeah, it's been working for sure.
Practice every day is actually fun again. I feel like we actually like get better at something different every single day.
Well, I don't know if it happened last year either, but I feel like most of the years we start practice by just like being flat out kind of like the best team off the rip.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if it happened last year, but like this year I feel like we were the best team for like a day or two, and then instantly teams were like kind of
Toronto was
putting pressure on that.
Yeah, Toronto was nasty early. I know they were taking a lot of maps off. It's like early in the game.
Yep.
I remember who else.
Vegas was good early too.
Right. Yeah, Vegas was also good.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy to like start the year. Like nobody knew what was going on. It was so wild. And it was like, we have an event in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, how different was that for you guys? Like, not having to wait the 3 months, and like, how does that shift the landscape of like teams, especially
for like the first event, like having an event that close? I mean, I don't know. I like having an event closer to the game launch than like further. I feel like the earlier the tournament, the more like exciting it'll be for viewers to see the difference of like how teams play. Because I feel like if you give teams like a month or two, then the meta's kind of like set in stone for the most part.
Yeah, I think it's like kind of hectic though. Like it's definitely good to have the event early, like for the whole community and everything. But as a player, it's super hectic because you go to the event like you're as practiced as you can be for the event, but still like I don't fully know the game. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're still learning every match you play. Like we'll go to the LAN event, play a map, and I'll be like, oh, they spawn there. Like, damn, okay. Like I kind of knew that, but not 100%. So like it's definitely interesting, and even like S&D and stuff like that. It's the mode's not like fully developed yet. So you're learning a lot. You're taking strategies from other teams, and sometimes you'll get caught off guard with timings at an event, which is like crazy to think about. But it used to happen back in the day too. Like I remember the Advanced Warfare event in Columbus that I won. It was the same thing back then. Like I was really good at the time, but I still was like learning stuff in S&D as I would get like first blooded. And like, damn, I didn't know that timing. it's like that's crazy to think about at a tournament. Like I'm like unaware of what's
Yeah.
going on sometimes. So it's interesting, but it's definitely overall really good for the community to get it rolling quicker. I feel like.
Were you guys like a fan more of like, obviously the last few kickoffs weren't as popular. This kickoff, I feel like since it was like a pro-am kind of thing with the group play, it was kind of like an older tournament.
Yeah.
How did y'all like that?
It definitely felt more like a major than the other kickoffs have. I mean, I think
Their kickoffs
was
were
this the first
meaningless.
kickoff that was an actual like tournament,
actually meant
right?
something?
That
Yeah.
actually meant like with for points.
Mhm.
You got points and money.
Yeah,
The other ones are always just bullshit.
I don't know how all the other teams feel about it, but I feel like the early points are like literally the most important points, just
Yeah.
because it's like seeding based for like or like anything. I feel like just the earliest matches to win are like the most important ones.
Yeah, not for sure.
I feel like too, just like a confidence thing, especially in Call of Duty. I feel like a lot of teams and players like they struggle to like bounce back from things, or like if their team's not doing well, it's always like let's just change rather than they like most teams can't pull themselves out of bad placing, if that makes sense. Like if they get 12th, their team's chalked. If they get 8th, their team's chalked. So I don't know. Just starting off hot is definitely important, I would
Yeah,
say.
for sure.
Were you guys expecting a bigger roster mania, or was the roster mania after Major One kind of like what y'all expected?
I wasn't expecting a big roster mania, to be honest. I mean, the optic stuff obviously was interesting, but it's not really surprising when you look at like the roster mania in the off season.
Yeah, I feel like the offseason stuff, like they kind of set themselves up for failure a little bit. I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you can't do that, especially in Call of Duty with the type of players.
Yeah,
and like,
type of players like it's just like
we're an immature group, I would say. You know what I mean? So it's hard to like.
People's mindsets are out of it. It's over.
Yeah, it's hard to like separate, like, I don't know, like business. You know what I mean? Like keep it like that.
yeah,
So
keep
like
it separated.
when people get dropped or like something happens, it's really hard to come back to that same team and just be like, okay, it is what
Everything's
it
the
is.
same.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna just play the game and figure it out. So I don't know. Making that move was questionable, and obviously, I mean, the community was even saying it. Like, if they don't start out hot, like they're gonna change, and here they are. But now they can't really like. I mean, they ended up getting Hook, but like I don't think that was their first option. I even think they said it like they were struggling to like find players when in the off season. I feel like they definitely could have found players.
Yeah,
They should have signed someone that they thought was good enough to be on their team when they chose to stay together.
Like
And like
Oh,
an
yeah,
actual
yeah.
sub. And they put themselves in a shit spot too, because not them, but like Dashy could have literally been God himself, teammate wise, numbers wise, and he still would have got dropped if they would have got 12. Probably, but
yeah.
Yeah, and now even for him, it's gonna be an interesting spot because he's gonna sit around and wait, and it's like, I mean, I've been in that position too. It's like, well, do you go play challengers? Like, I feel like for someone like him, you have to kind of go play challengers, but it's also a lose-lose.
Yeah.
Like if he goes down there and wins, it's like, okay,
Fun.
you're supposed to win. If he goes down there and loses, it's like, damn, Dashy's losing in challengers. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like,
It's definitely lose.
when I was in that
For
position,
Neptune, though.
huh?
I feel like he worked for Neptune last year. Like
Yeah, it
Neptune was
did,
getting
but
smoked and then he fried. I don't even know if his team won with Mike and them, but he fried and got on your team.
I also wouldn't say it's the same though for Neptune and Dashy.
Yeah, true.
Like Dashy's won events. Like Neptune's obviously like a good player and he's been really good at Halo, but like he definitely needed to play challengers. And
Last year,
it's not really like a lose-lose situation for him. I feel like the community wouldn't have that same thing like if he was losing in challengers. I mean,
Yeah.
if he's obviously playing bad, then yeah, they would.
Yeah.
But if his team just lost, but Dashy could go down there and drop a 1.5, and if his team lost, it's like, well, you're losing in challengers. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. But he's got to keep he's got to keep playing because
You can't fall behind.
yeah, especially in new spawns. Like, you got to get some reps.
I was gonna say too.
He's been in a bunch of 8s. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, he has. I played with him in 8s. So, but that's still not enough though. Like,
No,
you
it's
can only
definitely
learn so
not.
much in 8s, especially because like your
It's kinda
teammates
rogue.
aren't
It's kinda
telling
rogue in
you.
8s.
Like, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, "Yo, Brandon, you should have rotated here." Like, I'm
Yeah.
not telling
You're
nobody.
not gonna get a
anything in
constructive
8s, right?
criticism.
No, absolutely not. If anyone says anything, I take mental note of that instantly. I'm like, okay, thank you, bro. Like, appreciate that. Let me write that down. But I'm not saying nothing. I'm like kind of like BSing my comms a little bit too. Like I'm calling out spawns sometimes, but in my head I'm like,
Let me see what everybody
I'm
knows a
like,
little bit.
I'm not saying too much here. Like, let me calm down.
Let me chill on that.
Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely good reps, but it's not good enough. He's got to figure something out.
You definitely need like a team environment to like build off of. You can't just
Yeah.
build off of like 8s or like. You need like a challengers team or like an actual pro team.
Yeah, but I don't know. He's also in a spot too where, I mean, I feel like the community's kind of behind him, which is surprising. Like I would not have expected that at all. It's like weird. Like usually I feel like when Optic drops somebody, the fans don't like back them that much, I would say.
Yeah.
But it seems like the fans are more on his side than they are on the Optic side, which was very interesting to me.
That whole situation went down pretty crazily.
Yeah.
Especially now, because Dash was the first one to speak out. So
Yeah.
I don't understand the green wall sometimes. Can't lie.
I mean, I love the green wall, all of them.
Well, I mean, that's
Oh,
like
yeah,
most,
we love
that's
you
like
guys.
most
We
fan
love you
bases.
guys.
Though.
Going into kind of general stuff, did you guys like the changes, the new stuff that you guys are playing on? Did you guys hate it? Like, what's going on with that?
I mean, I like it. No squad spawns. I'm all for it. Like, that's what COD should be. I feel like right now, the way the game is, they're like on the right track. They're not quite like there yet. There's still like some things they need to iron out with the game.
Yeah,
but
like some red dots.
well,
someone at that studio has some
I was just talking
shitty
about the
ears,
spawns.
man.
We can get to that soon. But like with the spawn changes, like they're close. They're on the right track. So I'll tip them for that.
Nah, 100%.
Yeah.
Definitely feels better. Like everyone was gassing how bad the change was. I feel like just because it was new, and especially because like you were mainly hearing it from challengers players during the event, which is like completely understandable. You know, they're playing a new spawn system at an event.
That's what's crazy.
Yeah, that
They
was the
showed
crazy
the
part.
event.
And they're scrimming on side stations with no like mini map or nothing, so it's like they don't know
They're just
what the
guessing. They're
fuck's
just
going
guessing.
on. Yeah, literally. They
But I
don't
feel
know
like
what's
being
going on.
able to like practice it and actually like see what was going on, it wasn't nearly as bad. And I don't know. I was definitely a fan of like the new update when we came back.
Yeah.
What would be like your top 3 wants now?
Now?
Now.
Oh, I already got them.
Footsteps.
They need to nerf footstep sounds for sure. Like, turn it off at this point. Just go to 0. Like, I'm so tired of unaware players getting free information just because they can turn their sound up. Like, you should have to learn the game and be an expert of what's going on, know your timings, and have teamwork. Like, right now, like, especially online, it's really bad. Like, in our online matches, like, I'll pinch. I'm a trophy player. I'll pinch, so I can't pop dead silence. I'm making a really good play. The player's not reading it, making a bad play. And he's just like, oh, I heard him. He's behind me. Turn on pre-fire. And it's like, bro, you're not doing that on LAN or with no footsteps. Like, you obviously did not read the situation, but you just get bailed out because you can hear. Like, that's so cheese.
That happens on Hotel P4 so much too. Someone gets
Yeah.
a spawn in the back, tries to make it play faster. Oh, I think they're behind me.
So that
Yeah.
that for sure.
I think he's behind me.
That and you have, I mean, what was it, ASIM yesterday? I mean, this is just ASIM. It's everyone. People are literally fucking holding a cut, purposely not watching like
Oh,
like a
just
lane that
using
needs to be
sound
watched,
cues.
just using sound cues. That's
No,
ridiculous.
that's cheese for
That's
sure.
actual cheese.
Oh, when he was laying behind the
Yeah,
desk,
behind me,
right?
that's-
Yo, yeah, he's laying
sound
behind the
cheese for
desk.
sure.
The sound horn when they walk in just gets.
But it
up
shouldn't
and
even be
shit.
possible.
No, bro, not at all. And then what else? Well, red dots for sure. I mean, bro, come on. We've had red dots for 10 years. Like,
Let's bring him back.
it's like, obviously, like, you can make the argument, like, oh, we'll just have better communication, or all this. It's like, bro, in Call of Duty, there's so much, especially with the maps nowadays, there is so much to call out. Like, so many weird corners that you cannot, like, accurately, oh, he's 2 steps in front of the left guard. Like, no, bro. Like, we need the red dots because, like, you even see, like, someone will call him out, and, like, your teammate will jump in to look, and he's just a little bit to the right or something. And he gets, like, 2-piece,
Yeah.
red dot cheese,
Looking
we
like
call
a
it.
moron.
Yeah, so...
It's like, bro.
I was saying it yesterday, bro. You literally see it the most on Fortress and Art. The only reason that any sub gets pieces in that building is because the way it happens is you die, you call them out, swords, boat, bottom art, top art. Then the person that's near it, if like registers, and then next thing you know, they go to turn, they're already getting killed.
Nah, you hear someone top
Every
art, bro, you don't know what's going down.
Yeah.
He can be anywhere at any moment.
Yeah.
I'm just
If there
like, yo,
was
I'm leaving him there.
if there was red dots, you would not see half of the fucking subs going crazy like they do in Art of Forges.
Yeah.
Dude, it's just straight up bullshit.
No red dots and then dead silence, and they're having a good old time in art.
Dude, they're having
It's a fun time.
blast.
I'll be
They're having
the
a
one to say
blast.
it's
I
a fun
mean,
time.
You even saw it in the Thieves versus New York match, like Hydra
Hydra's
and
going
Envoy
crazy.
and all that, Kenny, all them just running around in there, bro. Like, they're just getting free pieces because red dot cheese. Like, it's like, bro, that shouldn't be a thing. What else? What would you say a third thing?
I don't know. Definitely the audio. Definitely the red dots. I mean, they fixed the spawns for the most part.
That and they need this probably like the 2 back spawns that they just randomly have.
Oh
in
yeah,
different
I mean
rows.
they can clean up some of the
Yeah,
spawns.
no,
like,
they can definitely clean it up, but
Oh,
is there anything
control,
major? I don't think
control spawns.
oh,
Have them
yeah.
actually be
Control spawns
fucking
definitely
accurate
seem
when you're
inconsistent.
blocking something.
control
Yeah,
spawns
that's
definitely
true.
seem super inconsistent.
There's a random variable in it. I'm convinced.
Off control, there has to.
You're
There
not the
has
only
to
one
be.
convinced either.
I am convinced, bro. There's nobody who's telling me there's not some sort of randomness to the control spawns.
But we're going over VOD trying to figure it out. Like,
Yeah.
If we can
Wait a
keep
minute,
a
how do you
team trap
spawn
back
here?
kitchen, bro, 100% of the time when we have two people blocking, think we're blocking back bed, we would never lose a defense.
Bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like,
Never, bro.
I've had the same situation pop up too. Like, it was a hotel, like, control.
Shit.
I flanked P2. I'm laying down, look at spawn. I'm like, yo, they're all spawning spawn. I get the kills. Bam, we win the round. I'm like, all right, bet. Like, that's perfect. Like, I know exactly what's going on. Literally next offense on that same map, I do the same thing, and it's in practice. We had the VOD. I go back and watch it. They don't spawn spawn this time. They spawn right around the wall behind me, broken, and just shoot me in the back. And I'm like looking at all the arrows. I'm like, bro, I swear to God, this is the same thing. Like, what's different? Oh, like, oh, Abizi's one step to the right now, but that's not blocking spawn. There's no way. Like, I don't know. So there's a coin toss element.
There's some
in there.
cheese for sure somewhere in there. I just don't know where quite it is.
But I think the top two for sure, the red dots and sound. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
it just, I don't know.
With the spawns being cleaned up, if the sound and red dot, I mean, mainly sound in my opinion right now, but like if that shit was just fixed, like you actually like, I don't know, people just get away with bullshit,
Yeah,
like
I feel
actual
the
bullshit
sound
kills.
is way like
It's actual cheating,
more
bro.
important. I feel like than the red dot cheese.
There'd just be a bigger gap in between like the teams. Like the top would like break away way more if the sound was not a thing. It just makes, like I said, like unaware players better.
Nah, yeah, for sure. You can make as many good plays as you want. If you're getting sound horde, like there's
Yeah.
only so much you can really do.
Because back in the day, I'm telling you, people did not know how to hold the pinch. Now, all of a sudden, everyone knows how to hold the pinch all the time. It's like, okay, yeah, for
Turn
sure.
in just the right time.
Yeah. Wow, you pre-fired it too. That's some incredible timing there.
We as players are evolving, also, you know.
Yeah, okay.
Everybody's getting smarter.
yeah, for sure.
Speaking on like VOD and stuff, we got to get into the little coach subject. I know there's been a lot of like murmur around it. Notably Formal saying, you know, coaches are kind of useless in COD. We have a coach on the table.
Go
Yeah.
George.
What are your thoughts? Do you think the coaching role is more gassed than it should be, less gassed? Because I think every team's going to be different. But speaking from your guys' standpoint, like, kind of walk us through an average day of coaching and like what y'all do.
Well, he's right, man. I do nothing.
Ah,
I got nothing to say.
No way.
No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you guys can speak on it more if you want.
yeah.
But
I was gonna say I feel like
I don't like
I feel like
talking
you're
about
really
myself.
it's like such a unique like team to team environmental thing. I feel like there's a bunch of teams that have coaches that none of the players probably like respect their opinions, or like half of them are like, oh, this guy's not right, and they're just like not like trusting the system they have. You know what I mean? It's kind
Yeah.
of like forced. Whereas I feel like for us, like I'm like listening to what you say. I'm listening to what Crowder says. Like it's like I trust you guys and your coaching ability. I feel like a lot of other teams don't always have that 100% like trust in their coach.
Yeah, well, you have to. I mean, you have to respect your coach. If you don't, it's just a waste at that point. But I feel like what they're saying is like when they say like COD coaches are useless, they're talking about like either the ones they've experienced or like the majority. But I feel like there's select few that are actually good at what they do. Like they not only like know the game. Well, I feel like it's hard to, honestly. I mean, you can maybe speak on it more, but I feel like sometimes it's hard to know the game super well when you don't play it.
Yeah.
Like watching the minimap, like, you can get stuff and learn stuff, but it's like way easier to know the game when you play it, and that's why they say like, oh, like the coaches don't know more than the players.
Yeah.
But I think if you're actually like watching and like listening and stuff like that, you can learn even just not playing. And then I feel like also the important thing is like the player management side of things, like building the culture, making sure like, you know, practice is like good every day and stuff like that. So I feel like not all the coaches are good, but like the select few that are good are really good at what they do. And like I said, I feel like they have a really good culture here. So
Yeah, like my main thing, like regarding like plays and stuff and like stuff we're doing wrong is like I'll like somewhat bring it up if we're fucking some shit up or whatever, but like I'll never say like we need to do something or do this or that without like having it clipped like 30 times from us making the mistake and watching other teams like what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like I won't say a word about the play until I know for a fact like we're fucking this, like we're doing some dumb shit here.
yeah, like I noticed that too. Like you always notice like trends and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like, oh, on
Yeah,
this hill we're
the
always
trends for
doing
sure.
this, and like he'll like spark a conversation, and then we'll talk about it and come to an like agreement and stuff like that. And he'll also like notice what other teams are doing on that specific hill too, and just be like see how they're playing it, like why is this good? What are they? You know what I mean? Like we'll just try to
Yeah.
work together and figure it out. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely it's probably easier having him here now. Like me and Crowder, like obviously like we still talk about like the plays and the gameplay a lot, but like with having him who always talks about plays and like how to play the game and stuff, like we try to like let him rock and like, you know what I'm saying? Like as opposed to how it was like other years. But yeah.
I feel like the team building side, where like making sure all the players are like chilling with each other and making sure there's an actual culture, like what you were saying. I feel like that's a huge part of like the coach's job too.
yeah, and that's honestly hard to do.
It is.
I
I feel like it's super hard to control like people's emotions, not control people's emotions,
Like
but
managing
like,
personalities.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's super hard to do that.
And like being able to talk to people like one-on-one and work through things like that. I feel like that's like
The hard conversations.
Yeah, that's what Crowder always says, the hard conversations. I feel like that's an underrated skill in like people, and not everyone can do that type of thing. So if you have it, obviously like this is like something for you. And like I said, some coaches have had it, some haven't. So it's like it really just depends on who you have on your team, who's your coaches and stuff like that. I don't think saying they're useless though is kind of FugaZe. So
Yeah, like I said, I think it's super team to team.
yeah.
I'm not even sure if it is team to team because like just all the teams that I've watched over the years, like there's countless players that I've come across where like I'll just be sitting in there and like someone will fuck some shit up, someone will ask what happened, and the player will like kind of half lie about what happened, like you know stuff like that. And like if there's no coach to see what the fuck's actually going on, like you're just never gonna improve on situations like that.
No, yeah, the coach needs to be not brutally honest too. Like you can't be like being like, oh,
Yeah.
like we didn't mess this up. It's like no, we
Yeah.
fucked this up. We need
Yeah.
to fix it.
Hard conversations.
It needs to be both. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm like not gonna like gas myself and say like I'm good at it, but I also think it's like it's not hard to not be a dickhead if you're trying to correct someone on something,
Okay, Arch.
in my opinion. Like if you fucked up like 50 things, like I said, I would have it clipped and like I would literally ask you like if you think is the if this is the right play and like basically make you say like yeah, like I'm doing some dumb shit here. Because it's fucking evident in watching what's happening.
Coaches are here to
No,
stop
I
the
mean
cap.
it's super important to make sure the player knows
Stop
what's
the
going,
cap.
Yeah.
the bad play.
Yeah.
So you stop the cap, but you're also king cap. That's
yeah.
That's crazy.
Mix of
kind
both.
of the duality of man.
That's crazy.
He's king cap outside of scrims.
In scrims, he's cap police.
yeah.
Cap police.
Oh,
Uh,
Man.
Sergeant Cap.
One thing we wanted to touch on, I think we all kind of talked about it. We were like, the misconceptions of the personalities of our team. Because I can talk to this as like, first a fan and then working for other teams, seeing you guys kind of be on your own, kind of doing your own thing. Nobody knew what y'all were doing.
Yeah.
You guys were a mystery. Like
Austin could probably speak on this a little more.
yeah. Like I saw you
Like
guys
on
in
you guys?
Minnesota and I was like, who are these guys? Like they're
These
rolling in a
midgets.
group, like all 5 of you at the time, like all super short coming off the elevator. I was like, bro, what the who are
We were
these
squad
guys,
deep,
bro?
man. We were squad deep.
But
Yeah.
like coming in, I feel like people even feel like you guys are just not nice people.
I feel that's a vibe.
Chris is a fucking ass.
Especially you.
Don't worry about me, man.
Wait, why did they have that? Like what?
Well,
Because he
Were you
shot
like-
Optics Bonnie and MW.
Oh,
'cause you
yeah.
had
It was
talking
over
trash
since
and
then.
stuff?
yeah, I shot
Oh.
Seth in the
So
glizzy.
sorry, yeah.
I remember to this day.
Okay,
Gun runner
okay.
bathroom.
They didn't like it.
They did not like it, that's for sure.
That's tough.
I feel like even till this year, like MC was kind of just like a mystery man.
So
And
this
now
year-
people are finding out like, oh, MC's pretty funny. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta listen to what he says.
Nah, MC, yeah, everyone knows what kind of guy MC is when they get comfortable with him, man. But
Hell
MC,
yeah.
MC's like a turtle, man. He's in the shell, but like once he's out the
But
shell,
he's not at the same time.
Well, I feel like too is like what I said earlier. It's like you guys kind of are tight knit.
Yeah.
So like they don't have a lot of insight into like how you guys actually are, especially like outside of the game too. Because I've always been a big proponent of like, even with myself, they've said it about me. Like I feel like I'm almost two different people. There's like Slasher and then there's Austin. Like when I'm inside of the game, inside of the competitive environment, there's like a switch that flips in my brain. I'm a whole different person. Like I'm constantly criticizing. I'm like taking it very seriously, working hard, stuff like that. But I feel like, I mean, you guys could speak to it out of the game. I feel like I'm the most like laid back, relaxed. Like I'm never like, tripping on anything. So
yeah.
it's almost like two different like personas, I would say. But with you guys, it's like you guys have been so tight knit and like they don't have a lot of insight. So they just have like the game to work off of.
Yeah.
And like I said, you guys are in your competitive
Nah,
mode.
none
in
of
the
us really
game,
like
so-
stream or like consist. Like none of us are feel like have our personalities out there like consistently enough.
Yeah. the fans don't get to hang out with you guys at the bar on a Friday night, so they don't. You know what I mean?
The fans don't get to go to Mr. C's.
Exactly.
Shout out Mr. C's.
Yeah. Or go to the movies with MC. Like, you know, they don't get to do this stuff. So
MC's a legend, man.
MC
Yeah.
is a dog, man.
MC's a legend, man.
No one even knows.
Yeah. Okay, so I had a follow-up question to this because, like, when you joined the team, I don't mean to, like, out our staff or anything, but they were like, we're kind of scared of this guy. Like, it seems like he doesn't know how to, like, have fun.
No, what?
And then, like, it kind of got into my brain a little. I'm going to have to work with this guy. But shit, I don't know. So then you moved here first, and the order was kind of like you and MC at the same time. Tyler's always here. And then you were kind of obviously in Jersey.
Yeah.
So when you moved into the same apartment complex as me and MC. How did your first week go? And what was your first impressions of everybody?
I feel like it all went well, to be honest. Like, I don't really have anything negative to say at all. Like, it's funny though hearing that like everyone was like, "Oh, this guy doesn't know that." That's what I'm saying though. Like, I have that rap where I just it's slasher all the time. You know what I mean? Like, super business, like about like winning and all that. But yeah, I mean, I feel like we all got along like right away. Like, I feel like I had no problems like fitting in. We all went out to dinners, hung out at Mr. C's or the bars, like just messing around, having a good time, vibing. And then obviously when the game started, like started grinding, having fun with that too. So yeah, I had good impressions of everyone. I feel like I might have changed everyone's opinion on me. Hopefully, I can have some fun from time to time.
He's a fun guy. He's a fun guy.
I'm super, like I said, I'm super laid back and chill outside of the game. It's just competitive Austin is a whole different animal.
Bro, I feel like you say that, but like I feel like Slasher, the persona, was so gassed. Like, not gassed, but like, you know, you're hard, you know, you go hard in scrims and like you do your thing. But like, you're not a straight up dickhead that everyone was saying. I'm like, bro, this guy just wants to win.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I have been in the past worse. Like, I feel like I've reeled it back in, and even with you guys, I mean, I don't really have to be like on.
Yeah,
you guys
no, it's
too
definitely
much.
different team to team for sure.
Yeah,
because I feel like you have to take a different role from team to team.
It is warranted a little bit, but it has been overblown in the community, and I feel like that's just the one stigma around my name that, like, no matter what I do, I could be the nicest guy in the world from now on. It don't matter, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just something I gotta live
I feel like
with.
that's also a COD fan thing because as soon as the little tidbit that they do get, they just run with it, and it's like,
Oh yeah, 100%.
oh yeah, Sasha was
COD
a
team
big
runs
one
with
time.
The narrative,
Like,
it's there.
The narrative.
I will say, just having him on the team though, I feel like it makes everyone just more like driven on a day-to-day basis. Like, just like, I don't know, we just go like way harder on way harder.
No,
in
scrims
scrims,
has
like,
definitely
for sure.
felt way different this year.
Bro, I mean, like the first 3 weeks we were playing like 3+ sets a goddamn day.
We've never done
where
that.
yeah, where I feel like the last 2 years it was like
We were allergic to third sets until this year.
yeah. And it was because Austin was like, we're fucking playing.
Like, dude, we're fucking losing math right now.
Lamar,
Like, get the fuck back into this
Lamar is not getting his team ahead the first week. It's not happening.
Dude,
That was his own mindset.
I did that.
And no one even questioned it. It's like, all right, let's do it. Playing until 9:30 p.m. every goddamn day.
Dude,
I did know we were in for a good year when we were just sitting around bullshitting, and MC said that he checked my likes on Twitter and was like, "Oh, you liking some questionable stuff?"
No.
And then like 30 seconds later, like everything went quiet, and Austin's like, "What's your likes?" And I was like, "Oh my god, nobody's ever checked
no one's
MC like
no
that.
one's ever questioned
No
it.
I
one's
have.
ever checked
I
him
have.
like that."
He stays
but like
clean.
in public with everybody there, like he was just like, "Wait,
Bro,
and
his
then
face,
MC
yo.
whipped out his phone. He's like, "Hold on." He's like going through it. Austin's racing through it.
Yeah,
They were
No,
like
that's
having a
definitely
race
a
off.
race.
I got him with his like following on like Insta or something. I think one time I was like, "Wait, who's this?"
Yeah.
Or something like that, bro. It was so funny. His face, he instantly like jaw dropped, like, "Oh shit!" Like,
He was like,
got
"Oh
him.
no, someone's here to stop the cap. That's
Yeah.
not good."
Oh man, that was so funny.
All right, I feel like this is a good time to end it now. Future episodes will possibly be longer depending on who we have.
Stuff
Maybe
that's going on.
guests.
Yeah.
More stuff going on, less stuff going on.
Yeah, we're gonna have some more stuff to talk about. We'll take a trip to Mr. C's again, see what comes out of that.
Jeez.
Dude, we gotta find a new spot.
Just wait till MC and Nick are on this. We're coming in this bitch with 10 microphones deep.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Chamel's about to be on. Kennedy's hopping in.
No,
Yeah.
squad deep.
All right, so yeah, that's gonna be the end of episode 1, and we'll see you guys next time. How do you end these?
I don't know.
Oh,
I
thanks
think
for watching,
that's it.
guys.
Thanks for watching FugaZe with FaZe, possibly.
All right.
Possibly.
Come back for FugaZe with FaZe episode 2.
Possibly.
We
Possibly.
need to have like a top 3 and just have everyone vote on it.
Okay, we're not ending that. We're doing this. Let's get a top 3 names out. Number 1, FugaZe with FaZe.
FugaZe with FaZe.
Maybe we should let them like put
Come
some
up with it?
comments or
Yeah,
something.
we need some
Like,
ideas.
Like, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not feeling very creative right now. So.
I need some
okay.
ideas, but I got nothing.
Yeah.
These
Here's what we'll
phases,
do.
like, oh,
We'll
maybe.
say FugaZe with FaZe is the first running title.
Yeah.
This is the pilot episode.
Yeah.
If you guys have suggestions, drop them in the comments of like, we'll probably tweet a clip or something, put them in the comments of the YouTube section, and we'll go through them. And next episode, we'll go through the top 3. We'll come through with the top 3. We'll be constructive.
Sounds good.
We'll get the
a vote.
community involved.
All right.
have
I
to.
like that. I like that.
And if you guys come up with whack names,
That's on you. That's on you.
all right. With that being said, episode 1
It's over.
It's over.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.